About 2 minutes. A Central Texas veteran says that's what cost him his job. He says he couldn't walk fast enough and failed a mandatory new physical test. It comes on the heels of the Army rolling out a new fitness test expected to be the standard for soldiers by this October. But as KXAN investigator Arzo Dost explains, the veteran is not in the Army and wants to understand why the fitness test is now a requirement for security officers.
I've got my shadow box with all my ribbons.
Barry Stevens' accomplishments
the liberation of Kuwait
span more than 22 years in the Navy.
There's the Lincoln. That was my last ship.
He retired as a gunner's mate first class.
And it's probably the proudest time of my life.
Stevens might have moved on from his military service, just not very far.
We essentially worked the gates, checking IDs for visitors.
Up until Christmas, he was a security officer at Camp Maybury in Austin.
We would check buildings after hours, make sure that they were locked up, conduct patrols.
Camp Maybury uses some civilian security officers to help protect the base. But after 14 years, Stevens says he was forced to resign for not passing the physical ability test. It included 19 push-ups and a 1.5-mile run.
A physical agility test.
But Stevens was given the option to walk 2 miles, which he didn't finish on time. He says it's because of his arthritis in his knees and back.
Because of my disability, I simply could not complete the requirements of the test.
Passing a physical is now part of the job description for a security officer. The directive says employees need to be able to move quickly and take part in a foot pursuit in emergency situations. Could you still do your job?
Absolutely. If we were going after someone, obviously there's going to be several of us out there. By that time, we're going to be calling the Austin Police Department or Department of Public Safety to come out and assist us if it escalates to that level.
The 67-year-old has filed a discrimination complaint and claims the test is not an accurate or objective way to evaluate the abilities of a security officer. The Texas Military Department, the state agency which oversees both the security officer's employment and the Texas Army National Guard, wouldn't talk on camera because Stevens could end up suing. A spokesperson sent us this statement saying, "The safety and security of our personnel is very important and we maintain standards in accordance with regulatory guidance."
I loved it. I was working around the military again. I was doing something I really felt important.
Stevens was hoping to retire for good in 3 years, but now he says that's at stake and he'll have to find a new job just so he can pay his bills.
I just feel like I was thrown away. It just felt like, well, you're no longer useful. You have to go. And yeah, that's hurtful.
We wanted to know how many other employees either resigned or were terminated because of this upgraded physical test, but we were told our questions couldn't be answered because of the ongoing legal process. Now, the National Guard Bureau, which oversees all Guard troops across the country, wouldn't say if this is happening in any of the other states. But a spokesperson tells me the Texas Military Department here can do this because of the nature of the job. At Camp Maybury, Arzo Dost, KXAN News.
We started looking into this story after a tip. You can email us yours anytime at reportit@kxan.com.